Hello everybody, I hope you are well wherever you are. Welcome back to NichesPlants. So today I thought I would do a little showing of my allocation corner. You will see that we don't have like 100% allocations in here, but the majority are allocations, so it's the allocation corner. And I also realized that I hadn't shown you my allocation collection, so I thought, why not do that today? So that is what we're going to do. I hope you enjoy. Please do remember to subscribe, share and like. It means a lot. And let's get to it. Okay, so we're going to start off in this corner. This is basically, some of you will know, is the Alocasia Amazonica poly. Now this was the very first, not this one specifically, I've got another one in the living room which is a lot larger, but this plant was the first Alocasia that I got. And obviously I was captivated by it because you've got those great silver veins, as well as this one doesn't have it so much because it's young, but this, you'll see maybe slight purple coming through. I'll show you on some of the others because I've got babies here. You would have seen my last video or the one before that I grew this from a bulb, which you'll see. Oh, sorry, see is there. And you can see, there we go, the purple undersides and how striking they are. So that's that one there. And I've also got this one here. So the first one was bright, that's not so bright. And do you know what the funny thing is? So this first leaf and the one down there grew under my Jungle Dawn grow light, and that I know brings out the coloration in my plants. The same for the El Choco, as well as my Amazonicas, and even so much so for my Verrucosums, where this light here that I got on what I get on Amazon, it's fine, it's great, it does well for the alocasias. You can see we've got a little purple on the trim, but they're pretty green, so that's quite interesting, but they do well. And you can see this one's a lot more textured, and this one's a little smaller, but that could do with me also in regards to size, fertilizing. But what I plan to do at some point, I will put these three in one pot. I'll put these in one pot alongside this one. We do have a little baby coming, as you'll see there. So yeah, I'll put them all in one and just basically have a little bush of Alocasia Amazonica. Now, just with a little bit of background about these guys. So these plants are from, these plants are from several areas. You can find them in the tropical rainforest of Southeast Asia, as well as India, southern China, and southern Pacific Islands. And they are actually a hybrid. Now, I'm not sure a hybrid of what, or what the parents are, but you can see they're quite striking, and also known as the elephant ear. So that's my Amazonica poly. Now, if I move on to my, what people call the Belinda silver dragon, I'll take this out. So basically this is two plants in one. You can see that better. I did import these, and you can see they didn't ship too well, hence that leaf, this is the lost one leaf, but we got other leaves, a new leaf coming through there and a new leaf coming through there, which is great. Yeah, they didn't travel well at all. I left them a while to acclimatize, as I do with every other plant, and then yeah, the leaves started to go yellow like this one. I think two others dropped. One dropped this morning, which was off this, but these are maintained. So I just thought, put them in perlite, leave them obviously perlite, water, aeration, kind of medium bright light. This light isn't the brightest, but medium bright, and they're doing okay. So that is my Alocasia silver dragon. Again, this plant is a hybrid. One of the parents is the Belinda dragon, which I'll show you shortly. I'm not sure what the other parent is, but this plant itself is commonly found in the limestone regions of eastern Borneo. So yeah, Belinda silver dragon. Underneath you've got striking red veins, so that's actually, I don't want to drop the perlite, but that's actually quite cool. So yeah, as it grows, obviously that becomes more prominent and brighter. When they first come through, the back of the leaves do shimmer a little, but yeah. So that is the silver dragon. Now, next to that and above it, we have, here is my pink dragon. Now, we've currently got two older leaves, that's the newest leaf coming through there, you can see. Let me try and bring it forward. This is the pink dragon. You can see what it looks like there. Again, striking silver veins. Underneath, again, we've got the kind of the slightly burgundy purple red veinage, which you can see there. Now this plant itself did have 3 other leaves, but basically last summer I went away, it got too hot, they weren't watered enough, and this plant dropped the leaf. But we've got a new leaf coming here, as you can see. Now I must say, this plant is a slow grower. I've had this plant, like I said, from the start of the year through summer up to where we are now, and this is the first leaf it's given me. So yeah, each summer I might get maybe 1 or 2 leaves if I'm lucky. I need to look at what I'm doing with this just to see if it's the conditions to help produce leaves quicker, but currently this seems to be a slow growing plant. If anybody else has that experience, or opposite, if yours actually grows quite quickly, do let me know, because maybe I can change something with this one. But otherwise it seems happy in the mix that I've got here. But yeah, that's the pink dragon, and obviously you can see you've got pink stems, which are actually really beautiful, and were one of the reasons why I actually noticed this plant, because it was actually quite captivating. So yeah, and this is also, you'll see, will start to have the purple underneath the leaves there. So the next plant, which, just putting these back. Next, so this plant here, it was battling spider mites a few months ago. You can see through the coloration where they were in main aspect. So I thought I'd leave this leaf on. I basically cut it right back, and this will be the newest leaf. As you can see, it's so gorgeous. And look at that, it is velvety soft. I can tell you now, it is as soft as it looks in this video. It's just lovely, it's beautiful. So the black velvet, also known as the Virginia, is also from Borneo, and I realised that the name actually translates to Little Queen, which I thought was actually quite cute. So basically we've got this leaf at the moment. There's the bottom. You can see where there was other leaves on those rings that I've basically taken those off. This one, once I think I get another leaf up here, so once I've got 2 here, I'll then take this one, because this was battling spider mites. You can see the leaf looks rubbish, and even though it's doing what it needs to do to help the plant, I will get rid of it because it just doesn't look great, and I think in time it will yellow and just die off anyway. But that is the black velvet. This one, I realized when you've got alocasias and they're producing new leaves, make sure you water them sufficiently, because then you'll get a leaf that, well, you should get a leaf that looks pretty much almost perfect. And I know I just messed that up, but pretty much minus this part here, there is no speckling on this. I realized when you don't water them sufficiently while they are growing, you will get some specks sometimes across the leaves. But this one, look at that. Look at those veins. Gorgeous. So striking. Oh, to think, like, nature is amazing. But yeah, that's the black velvet. And just to note also, it does have red undersides. Look at that. So that in itself, and I'll show you the other leaf. I'm throwing soil out, but there you go. It's beautiful. So here we have my Alocasia zebrina. This was a lot larger last year, and they do go into dormancy, and sometimes they lose all their leaves and die back, and sometimes they hold on to some. Now this again was battling spider mites. You can see through the color on the sides of them, and then it gave me this leaf as the second leaf, which is a decent size, not huge, but decent size, not huge, but it's nice, it's okay. And then we've got another, because I've got 2 plants in this pot, so there's one there, that's the second, and it's giving me this leaf. Now, though you can see it's yellowing on the edges, I have been really busy with work and haven't watered them as much as I could, but also the fact that we're coming to pretty much autumn, I believe these will die back, especially this one. I'll probably just chop it at the top there. And if it does yellow with this leaf, then I'll just chop it. Otherwise, I'll leave it and then it can continue next spring. But Alocasia zebrina, as you'll see if you don't know, you've got amazing stems. If this will focus, there you go. You've got amazing stems, hence why it's called the zebrina, because it is zebra-like. But yeah, that's them. So I do like this plant. This plant can get huge, as in leaves could be like, what, nearly 50, 60 centimeters, if not larger, depending on the conditions you have it and how well you keep it. But yeah, this is a beautiful plant. And as it grows, the veination here is quite subtle, but it becomes a lot stronger, so more embossed. It doesn't have the silver or luminous veins like the others, but it does become a lot more embossed, and obviously just larger in shape. So yeah, this is the zebrina. Now I'll take you across here and you'll see next to the zebrina we have the Belinda, Alocasia Belinda, basically the original. And as you can see, it is like dragon scale like. Now when I got this plant, I got it with this leaf, I got it with this leaf as well, and that one, oh, let's get this one out the way, and that one also. So you can see they look somewhat different to the ones, my newest leaves. So this is a new leaf for me. I'm gonna bring this forward so it's more in the light, but yeah, this one's a new leaf for me. And as you can see, look at it. Beautiful. And also the one over here is new for me. Got a bit of variegation on that, which I was actually surprised at. Let me turn this around. But again, really beautiful. I'm going to take it out so you can see it more in the light. It's a bit of a dark morning, I'm afraid. But yeah, that's what it looks like. Look at that. Beautiful. And that's the other leaf that grew in my care. Now they are getting darker, because you can see that one's quite dark in comparison. But I think they are getting darker over time, because they did come out quite like a standard green. And then they obviously, yeah, darken. That was baby one. And this one here is also quite dark. So obviously the lighting will have an effect in regards to that. But I do really, really like this plant. And also on the undersides, look at that. This is what you're getting. Isn't that just beautiful? Absolutely beautiful. So just like the silver dragon, you can tell this is apparently the silver dragon because the back is exactly the same. It's just then be interesting to know what other plant has given that the silver dragon is silver. But yeah, here's the beginning. And just to note, I do have 2 plants in this pot. I would love to get a third in here, make it really bushy, and again draw them closer to the light so that basically they're a bit more stumpy than this one. I wouldn't say it's super, you know, overstretched, but they could be shorter, basically that like that, though it's a juvenile leaf. But yeah, that is the Belinda dragon. One of my faves, definitely. So we'll move on to my plant over here. So I'm kind of shuffling things around just so I can pull things forward for you guys. This plant here is the Allocation of Maharani. Now it's also known as the Alocasia, Alocasia grey dragon, because it is somewhat like it's basically like a grey. There we go. So as you can see, this plant is very textured, almost like a rhino. That's exactly what it reminds me of. And it's really dark and it's really rigid as well. Like there's not much, it moves, but there's not much flex. It's very rigid. But this plant I got, again, I imported from Europe. Now this leaf you can see is obviously going, that's fine. I'll probably just chop it soon. But we do have another one coming, which is nice. Now this leaf is the most new, or the newest I should say. You can see it's like a light green. It looks like a light green, but it's more of it's getting a bit darker, but it does really take its time to get dark. Now I don't know if that's because of lighting conditions, and I don't know, more light the darker it gets, or the less light the darker it gets. I'm not sure. I'm gonna have to do a bit of experimentation. This leaf came through when it was in my living room, so it was on the dining table and it had kind of medium to bright indirect light. In here I'd say it has medium indirect light plus the grow light. So if I just take it out so you can see it more, and again I said sorry it's a dark morning, but you kind of get an idea of what it's like. And there, and this one, so lovely. The undersides don't have much, well, I say they don't have much going on, but because this plant is a hybrid, you can see, or can you see? Yeah, you've got a hue of pink there, and that is just like the Alocasia Black Velvet, because the Alocasia Black Velvet is one of the parent plants. So on pretty much most of these leaves, yeah, you've got the red back, and it's very faint, just a hint. I just don't want to throw the soil out. But yeah, it's just a hint, but enough that you can see it, notice it. It's lovely. And yeah, the other parent, so the first parent is the Alocasia Black Velvet, the second parent is the Alocasia Mellow, which I will show you now. But yeah, so I've got this plant here. It's doing well. We'll see if this leaf gets a lot darker, considering it's more in a medium bright indirect light than bright indirect light. But I do really like it. Like, it's almost got like a webbing over it, but it's really nice. Okay, so let me take you to the last, but one of my faves, the Alocasia Mellow. Bum, bum, bum. So here it is. This is the Alocasia Mellow. Now, as you can see where the Maharani would get that webbing / rhino texture from. It's definitely from this plant. It's just beautiful. The detail is so intrinsic and captivating. So this plant I also imported. Now you'll see it's a bit weird, a bit bent, because when it came in, this was what it's like. Being, I imagine this was one of the first leaves, you can see that it's not as embossed. It's got more of a flattened embossed texture to it in comparison to the other leaf, which looks a lot more textured. Now I know this leaf is more round than the other, where this one's more elongated. I think it's just coming into its own basically. I did import two, and the other one basically rotted on me within a week of getting it. No, I didn't water it first, I left it, and I could just see the root had gone, the root ball had rot at the base of the stem where it had bent. So I was glad I got a second, because this was one of my like greatest wishlist plants. Now I've left it in its pot for a while. You can see I need to repot it, but I just really didn't want to disturb it following what happened with the first one. So I will put that in my normal arrowed mix, which I've got there, which you can see over there, basically for all of them, and I will do that. But this plant, so what can I tell you about this plant? So the Mellow is native to Borneo also. It's also known as the Rugosa. Now I believe it got its name Mellow, which was described in, I want to say 1997, but yeah, it's obviously it's had that name for a while. I saw it ages ago and really wanted it and couldn't find it anywhere. So when I saw it, of course I snapped it up. Like every other Mellow, it grows from the stem previous or prior, so that would come out and you'll get another growth point through there. Again, like Mellows, you can propagate through their bulbs, just plant them up and there you go. So this Mellow on the back is more simple than others. It does have a little shine to it, which is nice, but it's really the texture of the leaves on this one, which is the showstopper. That's what everyone kind of focuses on and looks at. So I'm just waiting for this one to settle, and hopefully it will give me a new leaf like the others have, because those around it are growing. So I'd be like, once it's giving me a new leaf, I'll feel like it's happy and that it's satisfied, and then I'm like, okay. But I don't really want to repot it until then. Plus we also, like I said, come into autumn, where that is the time that they would go into dormancy. So I'm not expecting too much from these guys, though last year and the year previous they were still giving me new leaves kind of pretty much into November. But I think part of that's got to do with the temperature of my house as well as the humidity. So it wasn't getting really cold until after that, which then they were like, okay, can feel it in the morning, time to hide, time to relax, see you later. So yeah, this is my mellow, but overall this is my alocasia corner. I hope you enjoyed this, because yeah, I realized I hadn't really shown you guys my alocasias. The others you've seen, like you've seen the Regal Shield, and you've seen my Michelitsiana. What else do I have? The larger Amazonica poly you've seen as well. But yeah, I just wanted to go through and give you some close up of these guys, just so you can, you can see what I got going on. But I do hope you enjoyed this video. As always, please do like, please do subscribe, comment if you have any of these, or if you've realized, comment if you have any of these, or you got any gems for care or growth or propagation or anything that you can pass on to me, and we can share with the community. I hope you guys are well. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, or I should say your day, and I'll see you in the other videos. For now, dare to dream, live to grow. Bye.